Hey guys, it's Zap here and welcome back to another Hypixel SkyBlock video. So today we have a really exciting video. There has actually just been a new update. It's like a winter update for Hypixel SkyBlock here. Hypixel did put out some patch notes, so we're going to read those in a second. But before we do, I want to show you something really quickly. It's not mentioned in the patch notes, I don't believe, but if you do slash view recipe and then all caps Yeti Sword, it comes up with this here. Yeah, so it's a new legendary sword called the Yeti Sword, and it has 150 damage, 150 strength, and 50 intelligence, and the ability is really interesting. Throws a chunk of terrain in the direction you're facing, deals up to 4,000 damage, and a maximum of 32 block range, and it does cost 250 mana. This isn't in any kind of collection yet that I've seen. Again, we'll get into more of that later. There is going to be a snow collection, whereas that's where I think this will be. But yeah, we'll get into more of that later. Anyway, to craft it, you need 6 stacks of enchanted packed ice. That is a new recipe they added in the ice collection. And then you also need 32 enchanted iron blocks and a hilt of true ice. So we don't actually know how to get this yet. I have a feeling it's going to be related to the Jerry event, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But yeah, this is going to be a very expensive sword. It's going to be more expensive based on these materials here alone. The ice is about 4 million, and then the iron is about, I think it was 12 million, something like that, or 13 maybe. And we have no idea what the hilt is going to cost. So this is going to be an extremely expensive sword. But it is definitely an interesting one, and I get the feeling that because of this ability, it seems like it's an area of effect ability, so it would be able to hit a lot of mobs. And it seems to me like the Jerry event that is on the new island. Those are stuff I'll explain more in a second, but I believe that it's going to involve a lot of lower health mobs, and I think that's why this ability is going to become useful. Now, another thing that's not in the patch notes, this is a little bit more like speculation, so don't get mad at me if I'm wrong here, but I do think there is going to be a new snow minion, and there's going to be a snow collection with that, obviously, and I think that's where the Yeti Sword is going to actually be found. So yeah, maybe that collection will bring some other cool stuff too. Also, really quickly before we get into it, I do want to plug my Discord server quickly. We are doing a 12 days of Christmas giveaway, so yeah, there's a bunch of different things you can win. If you're interested in joining those giveaways, you can join my Discord server. The link is in the description. We also have some Skyblock features and good staff, so yeah, let's get into it. But anyways, let's go ahead and actually read the patch notes. So 0.7.5 update, Winter Island balancing, general changes, and more. So this here is the Winter Island, aka Jerry's workshop. So the way this works is the island will be open for about 11 hours every 5 days and 4 hours. However, during like 1 hour while it's open, there will be a special event. Now, I don't believe you can actually get to this island yet. It is accessed through your personal island, Jerry. If I come over here and I talk to him, he doesn't have anything about it yet, so I don't believe you can access it yet. Yeah, they don't say a whole lot about it because they don't want to spoil everything. But they do say that it's pretty calm. Then for 1 hour, the event happens. The workshops are under attack. Defend them at all costs. You'll need to talk to Frosty at the entrance of the island. He'll reward you with his snow cannon. Very useful. So it seems like you're supposed to defend Jerry's workshop. That's what the event is. If I actually come here and I go to my calendar here, you'll see that first season of the Jerry starts in 22 hours. It lasts for 1 hour. So yeah, that's basically what the event is. So there's also gifts. Apparently there's 3 kinds of gifts. The best one is the red, the second best is green, and then the worst one is white. And the way they work is you right click them on any player that's not a co-op member. Like you right click the gift on them and you both get the rewards. So that's interesting. There's also going to be 4 bonus events, just because it's like this is when they're doing the first event. So I guess they're just adding in bonus ones to make sure everyone is going to be able to do it. So yeah, you can see the schedule there. I'll also have this linked in the description, by the way, so you can read more of it yourself. They also changed they made a winter hub theme, which quickly checking here, it's not currently in effect. They added 2 new musics, which is interesting. And then, so the ice collection, they added 5 upgrades to the ice collection. So first of all, they made ice bait, which is in collection 6. It's useful to catch some special sea creatures. So it seems like there's special sea creatures for this kind of event thing. There's like new winter sea creatures, so that's interesting. Then you get the enchanted packed ice recipe, which we saw that with the Yeti Sword. Then you have the frozen scythe, which is ice collection 8, and it fires icicles at your enemies. If I actually quickly show you guys that here, if I go to collection mining ice, and we go here, we have the frozen scythe recipe. So Yeah, does 80 damage. The ability is Bolt, shoots one ice bolt that deals 100 damage and slows enemies for 5 seconds. Costs 50 mana, so that's interesting. And then this is the recipe here. And then I'm just gonna stay here for the rest of this just because, yeah, there's more interesting things here. So we have the Frozen Blaze armor, which is basically an upgrade from Blaze armor. And the recipe is like so. I believe it, yeah, it's pretty much the same for all of them. And the way it works is well, the stats obviously vary from piece to piece, but you can quickly look at them all here. But the full set bonus is Blazing Aura, which damages mobs within 5 blocks of you for 3% of their max health per second. And then the max damage it can do per second is 500. Also, it seems like the max goes up depending how many blaze rods are in your collection, it looks like. It says plus 100 per 5,000 rods, so that's interesting. It's also permanent fire and lava immunity. And the last thing here in Ice Collection 10 is the Auger Rod, which is apparently useful for fishing out the special sea creatures on the Winter Island. So you basically get these sea creatures, it looks like, while you're fishing on the Winter Island. But yeah, so it does 80 damage, it breaks nearby ice blocks where it lands. Triples the chance of sea creatures that you spawn to be winter sea creatures, and increases fishing speed by 50%, so that's pretty cool. And the recipe is like so. Aside from that, they also implemented all the balance changes that they had been talking about in a different thread. You can actually click the spoiler here to see all the changes, but some of the bigger ones I would say are Perfect Armor buff. The Mosquito Bow got a buff, making it better than Runin's now, I believe. Tactician Sword was nerfed, lost 10 damage. And then all the Young, Old, and Protector Dragon Armors have all been buffed. And this is what I have. If I just go to my island quickly here, you can see in this chest here that I have a ton of Protector, Young, and Old armor all saved up here. So I've been saving all the Protector, Young, and Old Dragon armor I got from my dragon fights because I knew this buff was coming and I knew the prices were going to go up. So if you have any that you've been saving, now's the time to sell it. The Rogue Sword and Wise Armor changes also went through. Basically more intelligence and the mana cost is reduced on the armor, and then the Rogue Sword, the cost is back to 50, but it only gives 10 speed instead of 20, so I'm not so happy about those, but it is what it is. The Wise Armor one isn't actually too bad. Pigman Sword also got another plus 10% crit damage and some other changes. The Aspect of the Dragons now has half the drop chance. And yeah, so there's a lot of other stuff here. I'm not going to go through it all, but again, this will be linked in the description, so if you're interested in seeing it, you can click that link. They also made some other changes where it's now impossible to open a player's profile when holding a sword, bow, or ender pearl and some other items, which is a feature that SBA had, but that's also nice. And then the kickback also has double the space, and they also fixed some other issues that would crash servers. And then this here is like an kind of spoiler for the Dungeons update, I believe. I'm not really going to get into this, but you can click the link below if you want to read that. But yeah, so that's going to be about it. Just a quick recap here. There is the new Yeti Sword, which we do not have the ability to get yet, as far as I know. There's the new island, which is not yet open. Again, I'm going to try to make a video on that as soon as I'm able to get access to it. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, there's also the expansion to the Ice Collection here with a bunch of new cool stuff. I think some of this stuff will be interesting. Definitely the Frozen Scythe, I think, will be something cool to get for the Jerry event, and a new armor as well, so that's cool, plus this fishing rod. So yeah, if you're interested in getting into those things there, I would definitely recommend putting down quite a few ice minions in preparation. Also maybe some iron minions if you're trying to go for that Yeti Sword. I may personally try to get a Yeti Sword. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I would like to try to get one to make a video on, so we'll see how that goes. And then yeah, besides that, there's the gifts, which I assume will also be related to that Jerry event. There's the new hub theme, and there's the balances. So yeah, definitely, again, click the link in the description to see all the balances and stuff if you haven't seen them yet. A lot of them are interesting to see. Some are good, some are bad. Yeah, so this update actually has me really excited. I'm curious to see what's in store with the new Winter Island / Jerry's Workshop in that event. I want to see how the event works and if that snow collection is going to be coming or not. Again, that was a little bit of speculation. It's things I've heard from people, but it wasn't in the patch notes, so I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so I think that's going to be about it for this video. If you guys did enjoy or find it useful, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. We're trying to hit that YouTube rank. I'm a bit off right now, but I want to try to hit it relatively soon. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah. this legacy. You gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know. Better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go.